All right, welcome back, everybody. Beau, strongest player in Texas, dating, sadly, day one of the World's Strongest Man Finals. 3 events down, 2 to go, and not going to bury the lead. Our boy Austin on the first event bashed his head, got to the deadlift, got 1 rep. The second rep didn't go all the way up, and we find out later does have a concussion, is withdrawn, and is no longer a part of the contest. That freaking sucks.
Yeah, man. It just sucks, man. And when he did 1 rep on the deadlift, I know we were all confused and thinking something has to be wrong. Well, sure enough, something was wrong. I mean, even that video he posted on Instagram, you could tell he was a little off. I hope it's nothing too serious. Just a few days of rest will help him out, and he can come back and start training for whatever he's got planned next. But it was really sad. I mean, as you know, and we all saw it, he was, really positioned himself to put himself on the podium, the world's strongest man. And
yeah, I mean, I'm a homer like through and through, so like I'm not even gonna hide it. But even the result on the I don't remember how they called the event, the flip and carry. He was 40 seconds. The other times I got him here, he was 9th in the flip and carry. 2:27 seconds, he wasn't going to catch that, but the 34, 37, 33, 36, 39, feel like that's where I kind of expected the way he did the truck pull and the way he's been moving, his athleticism. And so, looking back, I wonder how much that affected him, bashing his head, giving none of that yoke, and then getting into a deadlift suit in that heat, the blood pressure coming up, So I'm glad he has the maturity to just bow out and not just trudge on, knowing he's compromised. And this isn't a finger or a cut that, just sucks and hurts. This is something that can hurt you going forward. So, take the time off. But I hate that his prep. I hate the what if for 2026 World's Strongest Man. So,
man, it sucks, man. I know we were all super excited. I mean, I've been stoked last night, stoked this morning. That's our boy, and it just sucks to see.
Yeah. But our other buddy from the gym, Nick Guardione, is still in the contest. He's currently 10th, but I don't think that should fool people. The first event, he's continued to level up. So, again, I said it last night, but 3 years ago, this guy's just trailing Austin to pro shows and always shooting above his weight class. And then in 2023 or 2024, he wins every amateur. He wins first or second in every amateur show there is to win, and puts himself in a position to be in all the pro shows. And he nearly made the finals last year. He makes the finals, and kind of commandingly this year. He was in with Ray Donnell, but he was better than everybody else in that group. The first event a little slower than the other guys. Deadlift, he pulled a 30-pound PR to get a rep of the 400 kilo deadlift.
And we had talked about thinking that was a possibility that he's going to go straight to that 400-pound bar and lift it.
400 kilo bar for everybody listening.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, 400 kilos, not pounds.
I know 400's heavy for you in deadlift, but for I'm just kidding, bro.
But it's you're not kidding. But it's a good thing to see someone who's deadlift has been the bane of their existence, and him to go out and get a rep on a 400 kilo bar, world's strongest man. When you're however many events in this weekend, it is awesome to see. I'm happy for him, and
especially on day 3.
Yeah, and I think he's got a couple good events tomorrow too.
Yeah,
that he is not bad at whatsoever. Those are going to be 2 events that he'll put up some points, and I'm excited to see it.
No, I agree. All right, so the 3 events today were the flip and carry. It was a big toolbox connected by 4 poles that was about, I don't know, it looks like 5.5 feet high, where the guys had to bend over, flip it 4 times. And that went into a 1,000-pound yoke. And again, Worlds kind of leans in that 1,000-pound for the yokes. They never go heavy. So you got to be able to run with the yoke. That moved to a deadlift event, which was heavy. 400 kilo bar or a 360 kilo bar. Any rep at a 400 is better than the 360, but you're allowed to tack on reps at the 360 to get a break. And then the Titans toss, where our boy Nick got 3rd overall. 8 of the 10 bags went over. He tied Mitch on the number of bags, but Mitch beat him on the time. And Ray Donnell is the story of the day for everyone else not named Friends of Austin, who's won every event. So
I know. I feel like I have to apologize to him for picking him to come in 4th or 5th. I think I had him at 4th. And my goodness, I mean, now granted, this 2.5 point lead on Mitch is slim with the events coming. And Mitchell, I'm sure, will look to capitalize on any mistakes tomorrow. But those two are in solid first and second place.
Oh yeah. So I mean, right now as it stands, Reno now 39 out of a possible 40 points. Mitchell Hooper 36.5 points, just 2.5 behind.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a 12.5 point drop to third place,
Yep.
where one Eddie Williams is at. Then a 2.5 point drop to 21.5 for Matthew Bragg. And then it's Pablo Cordiaca, Andre Foytu, Martins, Trey Mitchell, who's had a disappointing day. Austin and Nick tied at the bottom. Of course, Austin is withdrawn, so those points are going to stay where they're at. So a two-way race for the top, and I don't know, a 5-6-way race for third place.
You've got Trey Mitchell at 16 points, so he's 6 behind Eddie Williams.
8.
And Trey 8. Boy, math. He could very well win both events tomorrow. Like, that is not out of the realm that Trey Mitchell wins both events tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, we thought he'd win the deadlift. Now, my stupid self forgot that it's going to be suited. Trey Mitchell doesn't wear deadlift suits. It's 880 pounds. And sure enough, Trey Mitchell nearly gets 4 reps without a suit at 880. And that's why Reno now, Matt Ragg and Mitchell Hooper. Reno gets 5 reps, Mitchell 4+1, Matt 4+1. And again, I'm not trying to take too much away from them. I do wish suits would go by the wayside. I use them in the comps I'm allowed to use them because everyone else does, so I'm going to try to compete. But it's a little frustrating because I saw Reno at Rogue last year with an 18-inch pull, and he had won he's second in the 18-inch deadlift last year at Worlds. Reno goes to the Rogue and is like mid-pack or bottom pack when you can't put the suit on, and you're like, there's something to me that's just frustrating. But Trey was mid-pack and deadlift, which kind of surprising. But again, suit versus no suit.
I think Reno gets a lot out of the suit.
Yeah, but so outside of our disappointment over Austin, our enthusiasm over Nick, who I think still has a chance to climb some points tomorrow. He's only 3.5 off of 8th place. I think he can climb the ladder and work. Let's do the hardest one, and then we'll do the fun one. Who's third place in World's Strongest Man?
With where we're at now, man, I'd love to see Eddie. I don't know how Eddie fares tomorrow. Truthfully, man, Rag is. I think Rag's really primed to take it. He's got a 3-point lead on Foytu. I know Foytu's a good log lifter. I really think Rag with the max log is going to put up 400+ pounds. Going to put up 200 kilos. I would assume somewhere in that range is not out of the realm for him. And then he's not bad at stones. And then also Martins and gosh, this one's hard, man. With the events tomorrow, because you got to assume that Reno is probably going to drop on the log tomorrow. It's going to free up some points for everybody else.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember what Eddie Williams did on the max log at SMO. Let me see what he got. Because he was at SMO. Oh my gosh, bro. 172 kilograms. What does that work out to?
Yeah, he was rough on it at SMO, I remember.
Hey, buddy, give me like 5 minutes. Be quiet, okay?
380 pounds, essentially. 379.
Yeah, that's either the opener or the second lift.
Yeah, so I'm not looking at him to put up a bunch of points tomorrow. He's got a decent lead, but I feel like, God, I mean, who knows anymore,
right? I feel like in kind of order again. Just talk about third place. We'll do first and second because clearly it's a 2-man race for the top, and then it's I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man race for third, only because I still maintain faith in Trey. Maybe I'm naive, but I just been a fan of his, met him, worked out with him a couple times.
Yeah.
And he's a veteran. So you've got we'll say a 6-way race for third. For that race, I think it's between Eddie Williams, Matt Ragg. I mean, Foytu, Lises, and Mitchell. I'm kind of knocking Pablo out. I just don't see him having.
I don't think the events lean to Pablo, but I think it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 man race tomorrow for third.
Yeah, Eddie's going to drop on that.
because Eddie's got the lead, I'm putting him in there. If Eddie was sitting
Yeah.
at 16 points, I would say no, but he's
No, he'd
got
be out.
a sizable lead here on some of these guys. And I am not going to make the mistake of underestimating Matt Rag again.
No,
I've already done that twice now, so I fully expect him to have a good day tomorrow.
in a contest full of surprises, Matt Rag might quietly be the biggest one. I mean, every performance, 15 reps on squat, won the carry and climb. Little rough on the truck pull, but I think he got 3 over the 4 stones. I mean, just this has been a beast.
You got to remember he got 4th in 24.
Yeah,
he got 4th. Like he doesn't post a bunch on social media. He's not on the circuits that we see competing a lot. It's which is the same thing for Rain O'Neill. I mean, we didn't really get to see him outside of the Rogue and World's Strongest Man last year in a couple of his SCLs. And that's the other thing. Reno really hasn't posted anything about his log. I haven't seen him post a log training video whatsoever. But I'm going to go up the medley. He only got 1 rep on the 350-pound barbell yesterday. So
that's true. And historically, when he did a Giants last year, he only got through like 2 of the 4 logs on the ladder or something like that. The overhead isn't there for him just yet. I mean, he's not a explosive guy to do like a probably Koryaka split jerk, and then he doesn't have the mass of some of the guys like Austin and Trey.
You may know the strongman math better than me. If Trey Mitchell wins both events tomorrow, does that give him a shot at third?
Yeah, because it's 36 points. It's 20 more points. It's 10 points per event. Yeah. So it's not a shoe-in. He's got to do it. But there's a world he can win. He can absolutely win the log, and I would almost say he's relatively favored there given this field. Lucas isn't there. He's the only one that would challenge him. If he was fresh, healthy, everything's firing right, Lucas is the only guy in the world outside of Iron Bibby who can hang with, or in that Jack Jack something. Yeah. They're the only guys that can hang with Log and him, period. So yes, he's favored. Now the fatigue, who knows? He's such a strong strict press. I would be there. And then getting the stones. So if he won 12, that's the 36 points. Eddie's only got 24. And again, if Eddie's bottom couple, because I don't know who Eddie beats on Log.
So here's it's not necessarily Eddie. I just wonder if Trey wins both, because I do see a world that happens, especially without Austin and the stones either.
Yeah.
I know Mitch is going to go balls to the wall in the stones because he wants to beat Reno, but he had a trip up last year. Mm-hmm. Perfect world, Trey Mitchell wins both, or even first in log, second in stones. I think Eddie's not going to have the best day in the world tomorrow. I would really be more worried about the 3, Matt Rag, Foytu, and Martins.
Yeah.
And where they're at with this mix. I feel like Martins will be the most well-rounded of the 3 as far as points come out of those 2 events. But, Trey's got a bunch of room to make up.
I would favor Matt Rag to be third. Like, my rating for who gets third, if that makes sense, would put Matt Rag most likely, Trey Mitchell second most likely, and then let Lisi's, Foytu, and Eddie, like in that kind of order. But I think Matt Rag is probably our third place. I think he's good enough on log to hang. He's good enough on stones to hang, and he doesn't have to he didn't have to win them. If he's fourth in those 2 events, I think Eddie falls back to him, and that might just be enough to keep Trey out of reach. Trey's only 5 points behind him, but still, it's kind of a tough.
It's a big hole to climb. I would agree with you that with the competition Rag has had and the lead that he has now over the other guys who have a shot, and the events tomorrow, I think, like you said, I think his worst case scenario is 5th in both.
Yeah.
And without Austin there, probably 4th. 4th, maybe 5th, because Austin was going to put up some good points in that.
And makes me lament even more Austin, because I think he would have done better in that event. He would have been second or third in that deadlift. I think he would have got second or first in that deadlift. I think 5 was there for him. And Titans toss, everybody not named Reno, Mitch, or Nick got 6. He got 7 in that Titans toss last year. I see no reason he would have been improved or been the same. And looking at log and stones, it was second or third was there for Austin this year. It's pretty rough.
I know. It's going to be like a woulda, coulda, shoulda. And he probably won't be doing that. I feel like he's going to move on and move to the next competition. But we're going to be the ones in the gym in the morning sitting there going, gosh darn it.
Just today and tomorrow. After that, he already texted me, said he's okay. I hope he's okay. I hope he recovers okay. I hope the flight's all right in the next couple of days whenever he comes back. And he's a professional. I mean, he's the same as you. He's a college football player, college wrestler. He's been in
Yeah,
sports forever, and he's been at this pro level for 3 years now. He knows how to move. I just, this was a chance to go even another level. Really, he's at the level. I mean, just to get the titles. So, all right, Rain O'Neill and Mitchell Hooper. Who's the world's strongest man in 2026?
after today, I would love to pick Reno. With the events tomorrow, I think he slips up just enough, and Mitch has learned from last year that I think Mitch makes up these couple points and squeaks out as world's strongest man.
Yeah, the hardest part for Reno here is going to be the log. Let's start there. Mitch will beat him. Rag will beat him. Foytu will beat him. Leetes will beat him. And Trey Mitchell will beat him. And Nick Guardian will beat him in log. I really think there's a chance all those guys.
There's a chance. I think Cordiaca could beat him too.
And Cordiaca, I don't know why I skipped over that. And if Reno's third to last in log, he's already lost his lead. He's behind in points going into stones. I think log is just too. You can't. There's no athleticism or gimmicks to a really heavy log. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but there's no log suit, and there's no. I was an athlete.
And
yeah.
And we talked about this with Austin all the time. Like that's my log is my most difficult overhead because it's more difficult to get your legs into it. It's the dip drive. There's not as much power out of your dip drive. And that's why we were so excited for it. We're so excited that World's Strongest Man put big balls event that you just keep go out and lift the weight, and I would feel bad for Reno if he were to, come in first all day today and just plummet in points in the log. And you can't do that.
You can't plummet in past second. I mean, if you're not going to suck at stones, and I mean,
I get you. But I don't think it's going to take him down to third or anything. But he's got such a lead. I'm talking about the win because he's there to win, and so is Mitch. And that's the thing we talk about Mitch all the time. Mitch is going to sit there, and Mitch is going to get top 3 in every single event, and he's just going to be there. He's just going to be there every time, every single time.
Reno could zero the next 2 events in podium. I don't know if Reno sat the next 2 events. I actually don't think there's a way he wouldn't podium. I think it's that crazy.
He's so far ahead.
He's okay.
We're just about him and Hooper. I know he's going to podium, but with this lead, I would feel bad for him to slip up. I know he wants to win and to prove that last year wasn't a fluke because
I think that's
a lot of us thought that it was a fluke.
Everybody who's been on my little podcast here I don't know that I thought it was a fluke as much as I thought it was a very giant centric, a very old world's strongest man centric set of events that I don't like saying fluke because I know he's a great athlete, but I mean I'm more like I think you're like this, and I know when I think of strongman I think little more the Arnold, I think of the JF Carone, Brian Shaw, Z era.
Absolutely,
yeah. So I struggle when
Big Z
got a final last year that's when it's Patty Haynes and Rain O'Neill and Shane Flowers, who I love as athletes. I'm not disrespecting. But when I know you left out guys that would absolutely in every major static lift destroy them, it's a little frustrating because you're like, I'm not watching the strongest guys. I'm watching CrossFit, and it's really frustrating.
And so I remember our biggest gripe last year is not only the events, but the way they put all of the light events in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So all of the the Patty Haynes of the world, the Rain O'Neills of the world were in the final. And then you get these heavy events in the final, and Lucas is out there, guest starring. There's a gimmick to
no Austin,
I think that's our issue with it. And then we got with him pulling out a Smo, we're all thinking, is he avoiding it? And then the Rogue, he didn't do great at the Rogue except for that one event. I believe it was
that weird push ball
arm pull, yeah. And we're all sitting there thinking, well, that was a fluke because of the events. And he's come out this year and he's destroyed everything except for the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming except for the max log tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a fluke. I'm getting very Mariusz Pujanowski vibes from him right now.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I get you.
yeah, which is great. I mean, what are you talking about? We're talking about a top 7 all time. So clearly he's a wonder. He's a great strongman, and everyone, including me, owes him an apology. But no, I got Mitchell Hooper. I've got Reno at second, and then I'll go ahead and say Matt Rag in third. I would love it to be Trey. I would love Trey to make the podium.
He's
That's a
just
lot
such
of
a good
ground to make
hole to
up.
climb out of. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only way is Trey has to win the log. He has to be first or second in stones, and he's gonna have to find some distance between Matt and Matt is 5.5 points ahead of him, and the way he's performed, I just don't see it. I think that's it. Anything else you want to shout out before tomorrow?
I mean, I think I'm just going to go with the exact same thing you said. Honestly, I believe that Mitch is going to win it. Reno will come second. I believe Matt has enough lead with the events tomorrow. I think he'll slip into third. I guess I'll throw a fourth and a fifth in there. I think Trey will do enough to get himself top 5. I do think that, and I think Martins will slip in there too.
I feel like I keep kind of leaving Martins out, who's quietly he hasn't done anything wrong. It's a great sport right now with great athletes. Like there's this, Martins of old. He's not really slipped. It's just a really nasty field with really hard events and really good athletes.
It goes to show you how far the sport's gone. And, just like at the Austrian Oak with the log this year, there was only one guy who didn't hit it. And 10, 15 years ago, there was one guy who hit it. It's pretty awesome to see how the sport's come. And I feel bad for our buddy Austin, and wish him prayers and healing and recovery so he can get back to training. And now I wonder what the plan is for the rest of the year for those two. Because normally we'd be looking forward to Smo next, but we'll see what comes.
I wonder if Nick has any mind to go do North Americas.
I think he would. He did America's funny last year.
It's North America's. Might be like outside of Smo, the hardest freaking show there is. I don't know if you ever see those events. They're so wicked.
Yeah. Doesn't Jack Corbin put that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not eat enough. It's just you weak.
Yeah. Check out the Chocolate podcast that they had Jeff Caron as the
I'll watch some bits from it.
Yeah. JF if he competed in any other era, he'd have titles, man. That guy is it's unbelievable how strong he is statically and how great a strongman he was. So, he's in my division. Yeah, so stop saying my division's weak, Corbin.
Well, your division at Texas Strongest Man and your division at OSG is two different things.
That might be fair. That analysis might be fair. Buddy, I'll let you get back to work. We'll do this one more time tomorrow after we crown a new strongest man and probably a new podium finisher. Eddie Williams, Matt Ragg, Pablo Foytu, and Trey Mitchell, none of which have seen the podium before. So hopefully we got a new podium guy, which would be really cool.
I would just say that this has been a great competition.
Oh, man.
I think although the groups are maybe aren't getting the best people into the final, I do think they make it exciting because it's something different and it is exciting. And if they do the events like they did them this year where they're a decent set of events, I think the groups can work if they keep up picking some good events, with a tweak here or there.
Only one guy was left out that I think absolutely felt very unfair, and I call that Lucas Hatton. I think everybody else, no offense to Evan Singleton or Tom Stoltman, but they lost their way out. They got beat. Lucas Hatton was 6th or 7th overall. 25 and ended up left out. I think he's the only guy that really has a gripe. I think everybody else worked their way out. So it almost worked perfect this year. And my favorite suggestion I heard was take the 10 group guys, the first of each group, and then take the next 2 that should have made it and make it a 12-person final, and you wouldn't have that problem. And that might solve it right there because that'll eliminate what happened here because Lucas clearly deserved to go. Lucas really made improvements all across the board, and could have. Granted, I don't think Lucas would have had much luck in the finals, given what we're watching now.
That's true. But at the end of the day, man, the biggest gripe and I don't care. The rest we can gripe about everything else all day long. This thing needs to be live.
Oh well, my understanding is the 50-year contract. The last year's next year. And my hope and prayer is Paramount, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Amazon Prime. Puts it on. someone says, let me buy this up. I'd love it and be Netflix. And what I hope too is that Brian Shaw sees that and looks for a possible partner for Smo, so we can have that kind of partnership as well and bring back another major. Well, I think four majors may be too much for these guys.
With what's going on right now, I know Lucas will be, fighting at the bit to do a Smo this year. That's his type of show. Same with Austin.
I think my other thing this year too is how much the guys have improved. Some of the guys have improved. Austin, Lucas, Nick, the Foytu, and Eddie Williams, and I'm probably missing guys, but those five, they have put themselves into super elite status. And this is improvements. Like again, Lucas didn't make the finals. Yeah, Lucas won the squat, won the overhead, fixed his issues with the pillstone where he's not built for it, and was fast on the moving events. What else do you want from the guy? He is getting better. Austin, I genuinely believe was a podium finisher, barring injury. I really do. Nick went from a maybe finals guy to dominating second in the group. Foytu is just a world beater. I don't know why he can't throw sandbags, but outside of that, I mean, so.
Dude, if you think about it, Nick 2 years ago was on the amateur scene.
Yes.
And now he's in the finals.
Absolutely deserved to be in the finals.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that is awesome. And I'm sure
Matt Rag. I left Matt Rag out of the improvement, but clearly Matt Rag has turned into a world beater too. So unbelievable.
Yeah, and to that, I would love to see a lot of these international guys come over and do the Arnold, come over, and do. I know the Rogue's a little different. You got to get invited in their point system and all that, but I want to see more of it. That's what I'm sad about Smo. Just as a fan, I want more. Now for these guys, you can't have too many Smos, otherwise they're gonna be broken in half.
Well, the cool thing is maybe I'll finally subscribe and start watching the SCL and start to enjoy that.
I mean, dude, I'd love to see Reno do something crazy over there. I mean, he's a beast, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I feel like Mitch will trip him up, on the log and the stones. But either way, I think we've crowned a deserving champion.
100%, and I'm excited to see who rounds out the podium. Buddy, thank you for coming on. Get back to work at home soon, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you Tuesday.
We'll talk on here tomorrow afternoon, and I'll see you Tuesday morning. I'm doing my sandbags tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Good luck, my friend. I hope they're drier. Bye.